Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to give you my May update in my back garden and show you what I'm up to at the moment. If you've not already subscribed to my channel, if you could please do so, because you'll get lots of helpful hints and tips all throughout the year from my home garden, my allotment and also my home kitchen. You can hear the chickens chirping away. Now we've had a bit of a kerfuffle with the chickens at the moment, in that one of our chickens has been really badly picked on by the other chickens. You know, whenever you come into the garden, they're all sweetness and light and nothing's happening, but it's really clear that this one's been knocked about a little bit. So what we've had to do, we've had to section off the run with another bit of frame and give her a little house to keep them away from each other for a little while. It does happen from time to time. They don't call it pecking order without good reason. Normally if you do this and they still see each other with a little bit of frame in the middle, you will be able to integrate them back in with each other. But it's a real shame that we've had to do this, but it's just one of those things and one of the joys with having chickens. Things like that can happen. So I've got lots and lots of squashes and pumpkins that I've planted on in my greenhouse. So as you can see, I potted all them on about a week or so ago. So I'm going to let these grow on a little bit more before I put them out into my allotment. I find if they're a little bit bigger, the slugs are less likely to attack them. They will still attack some of them, but when they get a little bit stronger and a bit more prickly, the slugs don't attack them quite so virulently. So what I've done now is what I did have as a cover for my tomatoes before to prevent the frost from getting them. I've actually taken the plastic cover off and I've moved them over my strawberries, because as you can see my strawberries are starting to fall. And my fear is that the birds will have them. So I've got this scaffolding net, which I bought a big 50-metre roll, and I use it for lots and lots of jobs in my allotment and in my home garden. It's really worth getting this because it does do a lot of good jobs, and also it's quite reasonable as well. So if you want to source it, I will put a link in the description so you can find it for yourself. They look a little bit tired, so I've just potted them on, but I've put a few salad leaves into this pot. I do grow a lot of my kale and salad leaves up at the allotment, but I like to have a little bit back at home just in case I've not picked any and I can just dash out into the garden to pick some for myself. My leeks are coming on really well there, and they'll be going out into my allotment probably within the next month. And I've also started off some radishes, and I've started them off in a pot because I seem to get really bad flea beetle on my radishes. It doesn't seem to matter what I do, I can't seem to save them. So I thought I'm going to try them in a pot at home and see what happens. If anyone's got any ideas of how I can stop flea beetle, I'm all ears. I've also started off some herbs because it's so incredibly warm now. Things are germinating really quickly. So I've done a whole tray of basil because I always put basil. It's really good as a nice addition, obviously in dishes, but also I plant it in and around my tomatoes because it improves the flavour as well. I've also started off some coriander, some chives, normal chives, garlic chives, dill and parsley. I've only just done them, so they're soaking up the water. So at some point, once they've absorbed the water and they're damp on top and they almost are there, I'll drain off the surplus water. But at the moment, obviously you don't water over the top of tiny little seeds like that. It's not ideal. You let the water soak up from the bottom. So I've been tidying up and preparing my bed for my tomatoes and also my aubergines. I think I've said before that I always keep my tomatoes at home because of the risk of blight. It seems far worse at the allotment. Doesn't get hit quite so bad at home. And I'm also going to be putting my peppers and my aubergines along here. It's really hot. It's a bit like a sun trap, so it's perfect for my tomatoes, my aubergines and my peppers. So I cleared a lot. I had lots and lots of wild rocket here, because it self-seeds every year. So I took out what was going to be in the way, where I'm going to put my aubergines and my peppers, and I just left some of the wild rocket where it wouldn't get in the way. So I've got a few that have self-seeded, and they'll get bigger and they'll provide what I need to. It is something that goes a little bit crazy, but it is really quite lovely in salads and various other dishes. So as we move over, I've got a few bits left in the summer house, but not an awful lot now. I've got some aubergines here, which I actually got these. They're grafted aubergines. So we'll see. I think there's something scorpion, F1 scorpion. So we'll see how they do. They've only just arrived in the last week, so I've put them in pots just to bring them on a little bit more. But my intention is to put them out in front of the tomatoes, because like I said, it's really, really warm there, and they should do really, really well. And I've also got a couple of bits in here, a couple of spare kale plants, a little bit of salad I'm actually using to pick myself, and I've got some cucumber melons here which I'm bringing on a little bit more before I put them in their final place. Can't decide exactly where I'm going to put them yet. I think it's the age-old story of an allotment holder, of what to do with where you're going to put all your plants. All my brassicas are now in up the allotment, and they're all covered to protect them from the white butterfly and also from the birds. So I'd love to hear what everyone else is doing. This is just a bit of a whistle-stop tour of my back garden and what's going on. If you can, please like and share and comment, because the more people we share it with, the more people will get to learn how to grow their own fruit and vegetables.